right. Welcome to our Ask an Ambassador event. We're here tonight with our New Mcgorretti ambassadors. They're here to answer your questions, to tell you about life as a saint, and help you hopefully make your decision for next year about where you're going to go to high school, which will hopefully be here at New Mcgorretti. As we go through the night, please feel free to use the Q&A box or the chat to ask any questions. We'll answer them as we can. And otherwise, I hope you enjoy hearing from our ambassadors, who are the best people to share what it's like to be a saint. To get started, my name is Mrs. Edwards. I'm the admissions director here at New Mcgorretti. I will be working with you throughout this entire process, from application all the way through till enrollment. And I have my ambassadors here as well. I'm going to ask them each to just introduce themselves. They'll tell you their name, what grade they're in, what grade school they came from, and any activities they've been involved in at New Mcgorretti. And then we'll ask them just briefly in 3 words or less to share what they love or how they would describe New Mcgorretti. So Franco, I'll have you go ahead and go first.
Hi everybody, my name is Franco Chima. I'm a senior at New Mcgorretti, and I graduated from St. Pio Grade School. And activities I'm involved in Newman, I'm involved in, of course, student ambassadors, is why we're all here talking to you today. I'm part of the soccer team, and I'm the vice president of the National Honor Society. And if I had to describe New Mcgorretti in 3 words or less, I would say we're a devoted community.
Thank you, Franco. Thank you. And Mia, you can go ahead and go next.
Hi, my name's Messina. I'm also a senior. I went to Our Lady of Hope. I'm involved in cheer, student council, NHS, ambassadors, and Saints Philanthropy. And if I could describe New Mcgorretti in 3 words, I would say it's a family.
Tamia, go ahead.
Hi guys, my name is Tamia Thomas. I'm a 10th grader. The school I came from was First Philadelphia Preparatory Charter School. I'm involved in cheer and ambassadors, is why I'm here today. And if I could describe Newman in 3 words, I would say it's a party every day.
Thanks, Tamia. All right. Let's see. Tian, go ahead. We should be able to hear you. You know what, Tian? It's still, oh, here we go. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Tian, and we should be good.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. That's perfect.
My name is Tian Thornton. I'm also a senior. I came from St. Thomas Aquinas, and I'm involved in NHS, orchestra, and cultural diversity club. And if I had to describe Newman in 3 words, it's really funny.
Thanks, Tian. And Jose, you can go next.
Hi, my name is Jose Rivera. I am a sophomore. I came from St. Veronica Grade School. I was involved in, and I still am involved in, football, track and field, orchestra, and a science club. If I could describe New Mcgorretti, I would describe it as a family that will always love you.
Thanks, Jose. And Nick, your turn.
Hi, my name is Nick Barby. I am in 11th grade, and I came from St. Monica School. Some activities I'm involved in, I play piano for the orchestra, and sometimes I play piano at school events. You'll see me there sometimes. And I run cross country, and I'm currently in the process of applying for NHS. If I could describe Newman in 3 words, I would say black, gold, and good.
Thanks, Nick. So I want to thank all of you for being here with us tonight to talk about New Mcgorretti. I think one thing that's really cool is, as ambassadors, you represent so many different parts of what New Mcgorretti has to offer. You're involved in arts, athletics, you're in really tough academic classes, you're in clubs. So all of you can really talk to what we have available here and what it's like to be a saint. I think what I want to start with is, we've talked about all the different things we have here at New Mcgorretti. Why is it the right school for you personally? And if you're ready to answer, go ahead, just raise your hand. Yeah, Mia, go right ahead.
So when I was looking at high schools, I really didn't look anywhere else. just because I kind of always knew I was going to go to Newman Mcgregor. But the reason I knew I was going to go there is because it was always a place I felt comfortable and I felt at home. And even in my 4 years here, that feeling's never changed. And I've never doubted for a second that like this was where I was meant to go to school.
Thanks, Mia. Anyone else want to share? Why is Newman Goretti the right school for you? Jose, go ahead.
I chose Newman because originally when I was looking for schools, I looked at every school and I never felt like I was the right fit. But when I looked into Newman Goretti, I felt comfortable with the staff, the way they welcomed me, the way they told me that no matter what I choose, I'll have a good future for myself. So I felt more comfortable choosing Newman Goretti as a family.
Awesome. Thanks, Jose. And I think you bring up something interesting is you chose Newman Goretti, right? You found out it's the right fit for you, but you had to do some exploration. So for others here, why did you choose Newman Goretti when you were looking at Newman Goretti versus other schools? Yeah, Franco.
All right. So I chose to go to Newman Mcgregor. It was really had a lot to do with my shadow day that I did. I did it during my 8th grade year, and I really just getting that hands-on experience, and just I had an amazing day. It really exceeded like a lot of expectations I had for not just the school, just kind of high school in general. And I just knew the way, like the dynamics of how the school worked and just how good of a time I had. I just knew that I would do great things here and that I wanted to be a part of it.
Thanks, Franco. Tamia, did you want to answer that one as well?
Yeah, so the reason why I chose New Mcgorretti because when I was picking out my high school, I really had a hard time trying to figure out like what would be right for me, where should I go, like what would make the next 4 years of my life the best it could possibly be. And so I chose New Mcgorretti because like Franco said, when I just did my shadow day, I just felt really comfortable and I felt like the school would just bring a lot to me, like how comfortable I was and how many things they had to offer to me.
Thanks, Tamia. So it sounds like, I mean, for all of you guys are saying in one way or another that it's the atmosphere and the environment here, which I would agree with. It's a special place to be. So we have students tuning in who are in 8th grade. I imagine they're a little nervous about going to high school. For you guys, what was it like coming in as a 9th grader? How long did it take you to feel at home at Newman Goretti? Like, what was it like making friends, all of those things? Yeah, Tamia.
Okay, so 9th grade year, I was very, very, very nervous because I was coming from a school where everybody was just in close proximity and everybody knew each other because we all went there throughout like our whole middle school years. So when I came to Newman, I was just very nervous because I thought, oh, it was going to be hard making friends because everybody already knows each other. And I'm just like a girl coming from nowhere and I really had nobody come from like my middle school with me. So I thought it was going to be very hard, but the teachers and the people there actually make it really easy to make friends. And 9th grade year was kind of scary at first when you started because you like, oh wow, this is, you know, the start of high school. Like people make it seem like it's so scary. But honestly, like the teachers at Newman just make you feel comfortable and make it feel like you got this, like you can do this as long as you just put your work and effort into it.
Yeah, thank you, Tamia. Yeah, Tian.
Can you hear me? Oh, all right. My like freshman year, I kind of didn't know that many people, and like I didn't have a lot of friends, so I would spend like a good 3 months like coming home sad. But like eventually, with all the school activities you join, you meet people that share like the same interests as you, and but like because of the clubs and stuff at Newman, I still have friends today that I know are gonna last a lifetime.
Thanks, Tian. And Tian, that actually makes me remember. I remember it was my first year at Newman Goretti, and you were in 9th grade, and you came on a school visit with me to St. Thomas, and I could tell you weren't quite sold yet, but I was impressed that even though you were still trying to figure it out, you had joined a club, and a club where you had to put yourself out there, and now here you are 4 years later, like you're so involved, you're doing amazing academically, and it really does show that you just need to give yourself time and put yourself out there, and you can get so much out of Newman Goretti.
Yeah.
So for all of you, yeah, Nick, did you want to say something, Nick?
Yeah, I was gonna say that when I was in ninth grade, I just like everybody else, I didn't really know many people, and it was very awkward trying to get involved. But one thing that did help me feel more at home was running cross country, because we started practices before school started, so it was helpful to meet like this small group of people that that had the similar interests to you, so that because I didn't really know anybody on the team, so it was helpful meeting this small group of people that had similar interests before school started, and then going into actual school knowing those few people that that you can just go up and talk to.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Franco, go ahead.
Yeah, I can speak on that like kind of same experience as Nick, because I did that with soccer too. Like we started practicing before school started, and even though like I knew I was going in the Newman with a lot of people I knew from my grade school, it also gave me an opportunity to meet a lot of people that were coming from other schools. I was able to form a couple friendships going in the Newman, so it kind of made the whole experience like a lot easier. And then even though, because I knew I was really nervous and intimidated at first, but I was able to figure it out, and I was able to form some good friendships that helped me settle in everything.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Fall sports, I think, are a great way because most of the fall sports, cheerleading, soccer, cross country, football, you're starting practice in the summer. So you get like almost a head start at meeting people, which is a really cool opportunity. So speaking of sports, how have either been involved in arts or athletics or clubs, any of the things you've been involved in, how has that added to and kind of defined your experience here at Newman Goretti? Mia.
So going off of what Nick and Franco
Mia, you're frozen for me. I'm not sure if, do you mind saying that again, Mia? I lost you for a minute.
Sure. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I was saying, going off of what Nick and Franco both said about fall sports, so obviously, like, you go in knowing people, but there's also, like, no matter what point of the year you join something in, you're going to meet new people, and then, like, just seeing them in the hallway, it's just going to make you feel more comfortable. And also, it gives you more opportunities to, like, learn your interest, find what you're good at, and also just make more memories.
Yeah, that's a great point. And one of our attendees asked, Kate Tucker asked, do we have volleyball? Yes, we do have girls volleyball as a fall sport. So anyone else, how has being involved in arts or athletics or clubs? Tell us about what that's been like. Yeah, Jose.
Being involved in sports and clubs, it always has a big brother / big sister effect. You always find somebody to look up to, and if they leave or after you get what you can get from them, after all they give you, you eventually give that to somebody else. And it's always like, okay, you're new or you're coming in as a transfer, and now I'm going to take you under my wing. And you're always learning off each other. It's always also a competition, so you can be better at whatever it is that you want to do or try to do.
Thanks, Jose. Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Like, people sometimes worry that as a ninth grader, they're going to have to worry about the upperclassmen, but here it's almost like the upperclassmen take you under their wing and really guide you. Tamia, go ahead.
Being involved in like the sports and like arts and orchestra, I think it's really good at Newman because in like cheer, like you were involved in like the spirit days and the pep rallies, and that was just like so fun, especially for freshman year, because it was like, wow, we're taking on like such a big deal, and it's like so much fun because everybody just gets together and just feels so comfortable. And being in orchestra has given me many opportunities to learn how to play an instrument and be able to perform for the school and parents and just be able to like bond with everybody in the school.
Thanks to me. And Nick, do you want to talk a little bit about what you've been able to do in orchestra and how the orchestra program works?
Sure, yeah, I'll talk about orchestra. So in Newman Mcgrady's orchestra, you do not have to come in knowing how to play your instrument. Now, I came into Newman knowing how to play piano. I'd been playing for a few years, but I actually did take up a new instrument because there was another piano player in the orchestra. So I played a few mallet percussion instruments, vibraphone, glockenspiel. We all love the glockenspiel. But you can pick up mostly any instruments that you find in an orchestra, and even some that you wouldn't find in normal orchestra, like violin, viola, all your strings, and you can play trumpet, saxophone. You can be a percussionist and bang things all day. But our orchestra director, Mr. Proctor, he'll teach you from the ground up, so you don't have to have any prior knowledge of music whatsoever. And Newman Mcgregor actually is one of the biggest orchestras, if not the biggest orchestra in the Archdiocese. So it's definitely a lot of fun. And again, if you don't play an instrument, you're welcomed. And if you do play an instrument, you're even more welcome. Well, I shouldn't say even more welcome. You're equally welcome.
Thanks, Nick. And Mia, you've been involved in student council since 9th grade. What have you had the opportunity to do with that, and how's that added to your experience?
So anytime I talk about student council, my favorite thing to always talk about is the dance-a-thon that we have. So my freshman year and sophomore year, and sadly we couldn't do it last year because of everything, but we had dance-a-thons where we would fundraise throughout the year and have a big event at the end of the year where we did like a total reveal of how much we raised. And through that, like, not only have I had established connections with the people I was with, like, you're doing such an amazing thing for like charity together, like that it's going to make a connection that like you can't break. So that was one of my favorite things. And then just even being like
Thanks, Mia. So we talked a little bit about clubs and activities. I want to talk a little bit about the classroom. Tell us about a favorite class or teacher and what you got out of it, why you love it, what you got out of it, why you look forward to it. Yeah, Mia.
So last year I took AP Lang with Mrs. Muto, who I had her for freshman English as well. And I just became very close to her through student council. And she was the type of teacher where what she was teaching you in the classroom wasn't just relevant to the class she was teaching. It was also like just skills you're gonna apply in the real world. And that's why like her class, not only was it fun, but it was also like just teaching you, all right, you need to know this for the AP exam, but you're also going to use this in college or beyond. And it really helped to prepare me for all my other classes as well.
Thanks, Mia. Anyone else, a favorite class, a favorite teacher, and what you got out of it? Franco.
I'll say my Italian class has been like one of my favorite classes that I got to do. Like just getting to learn another language in general has been really good, but just getting to learn like specifically like Italian, it actually came really in handy for me last year as I got to go on a trip to Italy. And I got to do that trip through Newman. It was an amazing experience. And I feel like taking that class the last couple of years, it really enhanced my whole trip and like made it just like so much easier to get around. And I owe that a lot to Miss Rossi. Miss Rossi's always pushing us our hardest. She's always so energetic about the Italian culture and teaching us everything. And it's one of the most fun class, and it's an amazing time. Highly recommend taking that class.
Thanks, Franco. Nick, go ahead.
Speaking of Italian, I'd like to speak about one of the most famous teachers of Newman Goretti, Mr. Arrigo. I had Mr. Arrigo for chemistry in my sophomore year, and currently I have him for AP Physics. And Mr. Arrigo is one of the best science teachers that you will ever have. He is just very great with the way he communicates his ideas. Like the way he works, I especially like it. It's not Newman when they teach you, it's not like they're just throwing information at you and asking you to memorize it. You work by doing. So he'll teach you by doing examples on the board, and he'll solve the examples for you, and you learn along the way by doing the examples. And his teaching style just really connects with me. So Mr. Arrigo is definitely one of my favorite teachers, and AP Physics is one of my favorite classes because of that.
Thanks, Nick. And me and Nick, you guys both brought up AP classes, which kind of leads into the next thing I wanted to talk about is how has New Mcgorretti prepared you for life after New Mcgorretti? How do you guys feel like you're getting prepared for college and what will even come after that? Mia.
So through my AP classes and dual enrollment programs in school, I was able to I already have 15 college credits, and then I'm taking another class this year as well as 2 more AP classes. So it's just like not only do you have the opportunity to get credits that are going to help you in college, but it's also they're teaching you at a college level, so it's like harder and it's asking more of you. So it's preparing you for what it's going to be like when you do go to college, or if you don't go to college, like life in the real world. So it just really helps to prepare you for what comes next.
Thanks, Mia. Anyone else, how is New Mcgorretti preparing you for what's next in your journey after you graduate? Nick.
One thing that Newman Grade does really well is their college partnership programs. Currently, I'm in 2, the Drexel High School Scholars Program, which is where Newman and Drexel work together to actually let you take 3 classes in the Drexel Arts and Sciences building and business building. And it's definitely a lot of fun being able to go into a college class and pretend you're in college for a few hours every week. It's definitely a great opportunity. And the other one I'm in right now is a partnership with Manor College. It is web design. So instead of actually going up to Drexel, like the Drexel High School Scholars Program, the professor actually comes to Newman for you in the Manor College program, and he'll teach you at Newman college level material in a college level style. And they're definitely great opportunities, and you can even pick up college credits that you can use at colleges. Really, many colleges will accept credits you get through these programs. So it's definitely an opportunity.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, the college program I think it's really cool that you guys have the opportunity now starting, sophomore, junior, senior year to start taking college level courses. You're going to be such a step ahead of your classmates when you get to college and you're already prepared for that kind of work. So it's cool that you're taking advantage of those opportunities now. How do you guys feel like you've grown as people, like not just in the classroom, but as people? How have you grown as a result of being a student here? Tamia.
I feel like I have grown through Newman because they taught me a lot of like communication skills and like being a leader skills, because at my middle school, like I really wasn't that person. Like I'm still the same person I was in middle school. Like I was so crazy and energetic, but I really wasn't that person to like be like, oh, hi, do you want to be friends? Like I was always kind of like to myself and stuck with the same people. But I feel like when I got to Newman, I didn't have like really a choice. I couldn't be by myself forever because, it was going to be a long 4 years. So I feel like they made like it better for me to communicate with others and be a leader.
Thanks, Tamia. Who else? How is New Mcgregor? Yeah, Franco.
I can definitely like go elaborate on like the leadership things. I definitely agree with that. I feel like I've been able to like kind of step into like a new, how would you say, like just like role in the school like that I wasn't able to do back in grade school. I just feel like I'm so much more comfortable working in environments with like a lot of people and like collaborating, like even doing something like this. Like I probably want to have the guts to do that back in grade school, and I've just Newman, like you just get to do so many like experiences like this, and now I feel comfortable. Like I can talk to people, I can start conversations. It's all goes back to those communication skills that Newman just like, it's all what like flourishes off of. Really, it's all about just the relationships you make, and it really is what drives our school community and what makes us so special. And I feel like that I'm going to carry on with that as I leave high school and go into the real world, and it's going to benefit me.
I think that's great, Franco. And I remember you said earlier that your shadow visit is what really helped you make your decision. And it's really cool to see that come full circle where now you're the person who has helped other students make that decision. I've seen you grow as an ambassador over the years, and I think you really have brought students in who might have been on the fence the same way you were as an 8th grader. So it's cool to see how you grow into these roles. So I know some of you are seniors, some of you are still deciding, but for those who are seniors and even our juniors who are starting to think ahead, what are your plans after New Mcgorretti? What are you thinking? Where are you hoping to go?
So I really want to go to St. Joe's. I visited there twice. I've gone to every meeting that the school's had. I just really love it there. It's also where my mom went. But I'm hoping to go there, and I really want to major in marketing because I want to do something in hospitality management. But unfortunately, they don't offer that anymore. So I want to major in marketing and do internships in hospitality, and hopefully have a job in that field.
That's great, Mia. I think you'll be great at that. Tian.
Okay. So I want to go to Howard University because like I'm really big on HBCUs, and I hope to major in clinical psychology because it's something I'm really interested in. And like what you were saying about the AP classes, I'm grateful now to take an AP class in psychology. So hopefully I do well enough to get the credit, so I'll already be one step ahead. And I also want to like minor in psychology, photography. Yes.
That's great, Tian. I think that sounds like a really good plan. Franco, what are you thinking for next year? Are you still trying to decide?
Yeah, I'm in the process of figuring it out. I mean, I'll definitely be going to college. Right now, I feel like I'm probably going to go in undecided wherever I go, but I'm kind of leaning towards something in the business field because actually this summer through Newman, I got the opportunity to take a college class at Rowan University that was an entrepreneurship class. And I never really considered that as an option before, but I've just learned so much more about it, the business side of things. And I feel like that's something, if I really don't find something else that like really motivates me and something I'd really want to do, I feel like I could go the business route.
That's great. And for those of you who are doing this college process now, how has it been working with the guidance department? Do you feel like you know what to do, like you have a plan in place to get ready to do your applications and follow through this year? Mia.
So when I heard we can meet with guidance, I scheduled my visit for the next day. And I've had my application done for a while, so I'm just waiting on SAT scores. But they're like, it's just anything you need, you shoot them an email, they're gonna reply back. They're trying to make it as easy for us as possible. And especially like applying to college in a pandemic isn't that fun, but they're taking a lot of the stress away just by like being there, answering questions, going over everything with us, and they're just really doing a great job of it all.
That's really good to hear. And I thought it was cool. I've seen some emails this week that colleges are coming and doing virtual visits for our students. So you can, while you still can't do the visits on campus and stuff, you're at least getting the exposure to the schools, which is pretty cool. So as we're coming to our close, what advice would you give to 8th graders and even 7th graders who are with us? What advice would you give them as they try to figure out which high school is the right one for them? What should they be thinking about while they're making this big decision? Franco.
I just want to stress to you guys that, school is going to be what you make of it. You can get the best grades, you can work hard, you can really do that anywhere, but it's really going to be what kind of experience you have is going to be based on like how you put yourself out there and what you're willing to get involved in. And I feel like no school like kind of gives you those opportunities and makes you feel more comfortable with it like Newman, and makes it fun along the way.
Thanks, Franco. Anyone else? What advice do you have for our 8th graders as they're making their high school decisions? Nick.
I think it's important when making your decision to understand what your priorities and interests are. Like, if you're really into extracurriculars, into sports, and you still want a good academic education, then Newman is definitely a great choice for you. But if it's not, then that's also okay. I know maybe I shouldn't be saying that on the New Mcgregor webinar call, but if you want to be, maybe if you value being in Center City or something, maybe you can consider a high school in Center City, or maybe you want something farther out from the city, or just for some other reason. But it's important to decide what your interests are. And a tip from me would be, don't just go where your friends are going. because there are just going to be so many people, and the way classes are usually organized, it's there's a very low chance that you'll have classes with all your friends. So don't prioritize where your friends are going. Just figure out what your priorities are, what you enjoy doing, and figure out which high school meets those requirements best for you.
Thanks, Nick. And I think that's totally okay to say, right? You need, just the way you guys are looking at colleges now, you need to find the school that is going to help you achieve your goals. And there are so many ways that we have for students to do that, but it's important to know what are those things you need and finding the school that has them. Tamia, did you want to go as well?
Yeah, so some advice I just wanted to give like the 8th graders and 7th graders when they're thinking about high schools is that, like what Nick said, make sure your priorities are straight. Make sure that you're going to the school because you feel like they can offer you something that will help you get through their next 4 years and even in life. And just make sure that you're going because you want to go, not because anybody else told you to go.
Thanks, Tamia. And we had a question from one of our attendees. Do we offer trans passes? Yes, we do. If you live more than 1.5 miles from the school, you get a free trans pass every week to go back and forth. Lots of our students, we have students who come from all over the city and even outside of Philadelphia to come to Mcgorretti. So that is an option for those students. And let's see. And I think where I want to close is for you guys, what makes Mcgorretti special? Like, we've talked about what to think about when you're choosing it, but why choose Mcgorretti? Why is this a special place? Why is this a place someone should choose to spend the next 4 years? Tamia.
Mcgorretti is special because Newman just really is like your second home, basically. Like, it just feels like somewhere you can go where you can, if you ever feel down, like you have people there that can lift you up. If you ever need like somebody to talk to, like Newman has those people where if you ever feel like you don't belong, they'll make you feel like you belong because it's just, I don't know what it is about Newman, but they just have that vibe where you can just feel so comfortable that you don't even like realize it.
Thanks, Tamia. Tian.
Oh, okay. So New Mcgrady is a hilarious school. Like, I have funny stories from each grade. And I don't know, if you just want to come home, like, with a laugh to tell your friends and family, New Mcgrady's the school. And, like, you'll also learn, but they'll make it really fun doing it, too.
Thanks, Tian. I mean, I think that's so important, right? I mean, how many hours in a normal time, how many hours a week do you guys spend in school? You're here all the time. There's a lot of work. It's hard. It should be fun too, right? You should enjoy the time that you're here. I think that's a great point. Anyone else, what makes New Mcgregor special? Why choose it over all of the other options? Nick.
Besides all the other perfect reasons, academics, extracurriculars, sports, all these other great reasons, I would say if you're making your decision, one important thing to consider is what you'll be eating every day. And Newman just has a really, really great cafeteria. And if I may, I would recommend, if you come to Newman, I would recommend the home-style chicken sandwich. It's very good. So that's just one reason to come to Newman.
Thanks, Nick. And Mia, go ahead. You have something to say as well.
I feel like at every event where we talk about why Newman, the one thing everybody always says is the people. And I feel like it might sound repetitive, but we can't emphasize enough just how special the people in this building are, because you're going to be spending the next 4 years with them, but you're going to make relationships that last a lifetime. And these are some of the best people I've ever met. And you just feel so comfortable around them, like Tamaya was saying, that it really, you could just be yourself and you don't have to think twice about it because everyone here is still going to love you and it's going to be the best experience.
Thanks, Mia. I agree with everything you're saying. And we had a question from the chat. Does your schedule change every semester or do you have the same classes every semester? And I think here we have, yeah, go ahead, Mia.
I was just going to say, for most classes, it's the same throughout the whole year. But if you're taking a college class or gym or health, that'll switch every semester. So you'll do a semester of gym and a semester of health, or if you're doing a college class, for instance, last year I did sociology and psychology. I did a semester of psychology and a semester of sociology.
Thanks, Mia. And ambassadors, that kind of brings us to the end of our panel tonight. You guys touched on so many things, and I think what I would like to end on is you're all ambassadors. You've all chosen to help represent New Mcgorretti, but you represent so many different facets of what we have here. And I think it really shows that New Mcgorretti has something for everyone. You don't have to be just one type of student or one type of person or have one specific interest in order to thrive here. You can come in with your own interests and passions and goals, find people who want to help you and support you in reaching those, and make your own path and have this amazing experience. I mean, every single one of you is on a path to greatness in one way or another, but a very unique path. You're not on the same paths at all. And it's just, I think, a testament to not only the school, but the work that you're all putting in and how you're putting yourselves out there. And so I want to thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for being here and answering questions, for being ambassadors. And I look forward to seeing what you guys continue to do and seeing you back in school very soon. So thank you, and we will say goodbye for tonight.